Noam Chomsky says the right response to the unvaccinated is to insist that they isolate from society. Dude, Max Blumenthal has like gone off the deep end, dude. What a perfect representation of a dude who's just like, I don't have any politics. I'm just anti-America. Okay. Which, by the way, and I always say this, okay? I always say this. If you're just like, I don't have any politics, I'm just anti-America, you're like right 99.9% of the time. You know what I mean? You're like unironically correct in like most circumstances. So people just like mistake that for being woke or whatever. But then like the 1% of the time, you're just so off base that it's like, what the fuck are you saying? Do you have no values? What is this shit? And, you know, Max Blumenthal is a perfect example of this. A lot of the gray zone Andes do this shit. He's like low key become, not even low key, high key become like an anti-vaxxer. He's high key become, what's up? Gray zone is just reactionary, no principles. I mean, it's just like really interesting seeing how they operate. You know what I mean? So Max Blumenthal is now like full blown anti-vaxxer, anti-lockdown, all this other shit. And he's very upset about
this. Your thoughts on mandating vaccines?
Well, it's a mixed story. I think people who refuse to accept vaccines, I think the right response for them is not force them to, but vaccines. I think the right response for them is not to force them to, but rather to insist that they be isolated. If people decide, I am willing to be a danger to the community by refusing a vaccine, they should then say, well, I also have the decency to isolate myself. Okay, I don't want a vaccine, but I don't have the right to run around harming people. That should be a convention. Enforcing is a different question.
Guys, he's literally 900,000 years old, okay? Stop pointing out the obvious. Yes, he looks like he's dying. He's old. He's old as dude.
It should be understood, and we should try to get it to be understood. If it really reaches the point where they are severely endangering people, then of course you have to do something about it. So if smallpox turns out to become rampant again, and some people are insisting on running around public places where they might have smallpox, well, you've got to do something about it. We're not at quite that situation, but it's a similar one.
What'd you get?
So I think we should first attempt to establish conventions that will be understandable by people with some moral capacity, try to convince them that it's your right to refuse to get a vaccine, but then it is your responsibility to isolate yourself.
Yeah, I mean, sure. He's like, if you don't want to get the vaccine, first of all, he's a libertarian socialist, so obviously he's always like, oh, I don't think the government should mandate anything, whatever. Okay? But ultimately, he's like, yeah, if you don't get the vaccine, you should literally isolate yourself for decency. The fact that he gets mad at this, the fact that anyone would get mad at this, it's just completely delusional, okay? You have to be a complete psychopath. He's an anarchist. What? What do you think a libertarian socialist is? Like, right libertarians are ANCAPs, and left libertarians are anarchist socialists or ANCOMs, for the most part. It doesn't matter. Shut up. Anarchists are about to be very mad at you. Yeah, I don't care. Anarchists are mad at me all the time. Take a shower, okay? I swear to God, your life will change in really meaningful ways. If you're ever mad at me, if you're ever an anarchist and you're mad at me, just take a shower. They're always mad anyway. It's just so many unjustifiable hierarchies all around the universe that you have to combat on a daily basis. Just take a shower. Okay, Noam Chomsky doubles down on his previous call for the state to segregate the unvaccinated from society.
Talk about folks having the freedom to, separate if they don't want to abide by these vaccine mandates. What would that look like on a practical level? Does that mean that folks need to just stay home and have like groceries delivered to them? Does it mean like separated communities of folks who are unvaccinated?
It's like anarchist Twitter, stop being CIA challenge, impossible difficulty. If you are, bro, this guy literally looks like the misgif egg emote, by the way. What the fuck? Listen, if you are spending all your time shitting on like Marxist Leninists, shitting on leftists because like, I don't know, they fucking didn't put a trigger warning on a tweet, or because you think that they are like single-handedly responsible for fascism growing in this country or whatever the fuck, you might be an anarchist and you might be a fucking idiot on top of that, okay? Just focus your efforts on something else, okay? Blumenthal's position on the vaccine isn't really shared by the other gray zone contributors who do good work on imperialism for what it's worth. Yeah, I know. I know that the other gray zone Andes don't care, and they're not the same as Max Blumenthal. Anyway.
Mandates. What would that look like on a practical level? Does that mean that folks need to just stay home and have like groceries delivered to them? Does it mean like separated communities of folks who are unvaccinated, or just, you know, how do you think this would practically play out?
Same way as with people who say that I don't want to accept traffic rules. I suppose there were people who said it's an attack on my liberty to make me stop at a red light. It's government overreach. We don't want the state to have that power over my private life. Well, such people they should have the decency to remove themselves from the community. If they refuse to do that, then measures have to be taken to safeguard the community from them. Then comes the practical question that you ask, how can we get food to them? Well, that's actually their problem. Of course, if they really become destitute, then yes, you'd
I love him. I mean, it's great. That's so awesome.
have to move in with some measure to
Wait, let's run that back. Let's run that back. Let's run that back. I want you to hear that because he said it with his entire chest. You know what I mean?
Government overreach. We don't want the state to have that power over my private life. Well, such people they should have the decency to remove themselves from the community. If they refuse to do that, then measures have to be taken to safeguard the community from them. Then comes the practical question that you ask, how can we get food to them? Well, that's actually their problem. Of course, if they really become destitute, then yes, you'd have to move in with some measure to secure their survival, just as you do with people in jail, for example. But that's really not the issue.
Doesn't sound like an anarchist to me. No, I mean, dude, he's not like a weirdo, crusty anarchist. There's like obviously smart anarchists out there. Like that doesn't mean being an anarchist doesn't mean that you think like, you know, it's just chaos. That's just like the little Zoomer anarchists or the really old ones that just like never read any anarchist theory or anything like that. Dude, can I just say something? You should watch a video by a YouTuber called Kraut on why Chomsky's garbage. Dude, if this is the way you live your life, if the way you live your life is like a YouTube essayist is dunking on one of the most like prolific fucking linguists, one of the most prolific thinkers of our generation and prior, one of the best fucking like leftist anti-imperialist voices on the fucking planet. If you're like, dude, you gotta watch this fucking video, like this guy really owned him, just read a book. I can't believe I'm saying this, but like, please read a single fucking book. Oh my lord, dude. And it's like that fucking former Nazi dude who like calls me a Turk roach and shit too still. So I literally do not care about this person at all. Turk what? It's like Turk roach is like a 4chan meme. Like Turkish people are cockroaches, that sort of thing. Just read Manufacturing Consent instead. That's a better use of your time, probably.